and the 27% to the star of the show, Stephen A. Smith. So, Stephen A., it's just consistency year over year. This continues to happen, even when I didn't pick UConn this year. What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, what I have to say is that evidently somebody works past 12 noon because I'm very, very busy. Obviously, I don't watch too much college basketball and somebody else has the time to do it. That would be my answer, Molly. You understand? That would be my answer.
I'm sorry.
But
I didn't know you were paid to watch basketball.
I will say this. No. I'm just playing. Let me say this to you. You're right. You got it. But you got to understand, I'm trying to win the damn bracket. So I take chances by picking, anybody. Yeah. Anybody can pick the top seeds and all of that. I try to win by going for wild card stuff.
I mean,
and it doesn't work out.
We've been doing this 10 years, so you might want to switch up what you're trying.
No,
No,
you haven't won it. I try to win by going for wild card stuff.
I mean,
and it doesn't work out.
We've been doing this 10 years, so you might want to switch up what you're trying.
No,
No,
you haven't won every year.
Stephen A.
That is not true.
That
is not true.
Stephen A. Smith. Don't make me pull it up. All right, but we both have Florida winning, and that's where we're going to go now.
I'm kind of shocked I'm at 27%. I thought it was worse.
Florida put an end to UConn's bid for a three-peat in yesterday's 77-75 win. The Huskies put up a fight and relax, Shannon, and led most of the second half, but couldn't contain Walter Clayton Jr. down the stretch. He had two great shots. After the game, Dan Hurley got a little emotional. Take a listen.
I was in a coach. I don't know necessarily. I was on the hot seat going into 23. You got to ask Dave Benedict. But until the players change your life when you have such special people. It's a lot of emotion, man. The players change your life when you have such special people. It's a lot of emotion, man. We're a passionate program. The players play with it. I coach with it. And you're always drained when it's over.
But this...
They don't do that to you, man.
There he is. How we doing, Coach?
Doing great. Doing great. By the way, you want...
They don't do that to you, man.
There he is. How we doing, Coach?
Doing great. Doing great. By the way, you might want to put my bracket up there, and maybe I can give you guys.
How's your bracket?
Maybe I can give you guys a little tutorial.
Yeah, how you? What percentile are you?
You're free. It's a little bit too late. You could have gave it to me before the damn tournament.
You got to ask,
okay.
Stephen A. You got to
ask. Saying? I'm just saying. I mean, brother, you were a busy man, but that's all right.
All right, Coach. I'll start
Stephen A. I'm filling out my bracket after the tournament.
Smart man.
You would. Coach, tell me this. How do you feel like, I know you have a close relationship with Danny Hurley. How did you feel he looks after this loss?
Look, this coach, they have a passionate program. You saw the best and worst of Danny Hurley. I mean, that's just the way it is. To me, he's got to be better. This reaction, all right, this has got to stop. This is not reflective of who he is. But he's a complex dude. That's just the way it is. He'll look back. He'll get home. Andre will say, wait, what were you thinking? Why were you doing that? He'll look in the mirror. He'll self-evaluate. And hopefully he'll learn from that. But then when you see him at the press conference, you see the essence of who Dan Hurley is. How much he loves his players. How much he cares about the program. How much he cares about them. How much he pours into them. You got to understand, when you coach, and you guys know this, and Shannon, you Liz, how much he loves his players, how much he cares about the program, how much he cares about them, how much he pours into them. You got to understand, when you coach, and you guys know this, and Shannon, you lived it. Your coaches, especially in college, you spend 4 years with an Alex Caravan, a Samson Johnson, and they become family. You spend more time with those players than you do with your own family. You love those guys. You care about them. You hurt for them. Walking into that locker room, the two hardest days for a coach, senior night and that last game, because it happens just like this. Season's going. You're in the NCAA tournament. You won 12 NCAA tournament games in a row, and then all of a sudden, bam, it's taken away from you. And all of a sudden, the finality of that, the emotion of that, he's human. Does he have to get better? Yes. Will he look himself in the mirror and try to get better? I hope so. But Dan Hurley is unapologetically himself.
Yeah, I think the thing is that was the jersey coming out of him, Coach. And this is what I tell people. The more invested you are into something, the more it hurts when it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a coach, I don't care if you're a player, I don't care if it's business. If you're trying to start a business and you devote your entire life into it, when it doesn't work out, it hurts. And this is what Danny Hurley is saying. He is that you spend so much time, you watch so much film, and you practice so hard, and to have it to come up short when it doesn't play off like it did the last 2 years with a national championship, yeah, it hurt. And a lot of times when emotion is high, logic is low. Do I think he wish he had that back? Sure. But I don't think that's, individuals are very complex because a lot of times we see all we see is the best of someone and we never get an opportunity to see the worst of that person on this. We can live with that. But like you said, Coach, he needs to get better. That's because you got people watching, you got kids watching, and you don't want your players to ever be like that to say, oh, we lost and we got screwed, so forth and so on. Even if you felt that way. There are a lot of times I felt there was a call that could have gone our way that it didn't. But you let it go, you move on, but I know I got screwed, so forth and so on. Even if you felt that way. There are a lot of times I felt there was a call that could have gone our way that it didn't. But you let it go, you move on, but I know it hurts because he's so invested and he really wanted that three-peat. He wanted to do something no other coach had ever done since Coach Wooden, and that was three-peat, and unfortunately, that's not going to happen this year.
Yeah, guys, I agree with you guys. I think we live in an era where our phones, like everything that you say, especially when you're someone famous or whatever, is going to get caught on camera. I can't even tell you how many things I've said in the tunnel coming out of a game where we lost the game or whatever. You guys know what that's like, but I feel like he has to get better. He's a two-time champion. He's been a character in college basketball. I think, like you guys said, you got the best and the worst of Coach right there. But at the end of the day, his players love him, and he loves his players. You saw him crying on the podium. How many coaches do you see actually cry on the podium? So he puts all his passion into his team. I understand he wanted to get that three-peat. They had an incredible run going for him. It won't happen for him this year. But as the head coach of UConn basketball, and being in this environment today, this day and age, you have to be a little bit more aware of what your surroundings might be. He's got to do a little better.
Well, hey fellas, let's cut through the mustard. Is it okay to be a sore loser? That's really what this comes down to. Is it okay to be a sore loser? You got to ask yourself that question. The man won 13 consecutive NCAA tournament games, back-to-back national titles, called himself the best coach in college basketball. He called himself that, okay? Okay, and by the way, had a resume to back it up. Ain't nobody hating on him now. I love Danny Hurley. I mean, I love the job that he's done. He's a fantastic coach. He's called himself the best college coach, the best coach in college basketball. He flirted with the NBA, and then you lose, and it's not like you got your ass kicked now. It's number 1 seed Florida. Most of us have picked them to win a national title. And this brother goes down to the wire. They lose 77-75. That was a hell of a game this weekend. If you got your butt kicked, that would be different. But to come down to a nail biter, it's a call here or there in a coach's eye likely determined the outcome in the immediate moment, in the immediate aftermath of a game. Now, as you reflect on it in the hours and the days and the weeks to come, and you go back and you watch tape, assuming you do that, you're going to call that should have been mine. And you're ticked off about it, and you're thinking that cost you an opportunity to remain undefeated in the NCAA tournament over the call. That should have been mine. And you're ticked off about it, and you're thinking that cost you an opportunity to remain undefeated in the NCAA tournament over the last 2.5+ years, and you're a 2-time national champion going for a three-peat. So again, it really comes down to us asking the question, as opposed to lamenting what he said or excusing it. We really just have to ask ourselves this question. When you're a champion, when you're as elite, when you're as great as Danny Hurley has proven to be, is it okay to be a sore loser under those circumstances? Some people would say no. I don't have a problem with it. Simple.
I'm a worse winner.
What does that mean? What does that mean, Shannon?
Don't let me win. I'm a worse winner. Don't let me win.
So you troll when you win.
I'm gonna act a D fool. Yeah. Yes.
That's what I would.
Absolutely.
That's what I would.
I'm
gonna show how you know what.
When Shannon goes lower, you know it. All right, we'll leave it there, guys. Yeah, heartbreaking loss for sure. The tournament would have really opened up for them after that. Coming up, the Kings' return to the court was a major letdown as the Bulls blew out the Lakers in LA. Does this loss have Shannon concerned? And many believe Cam Ward will be the first overall pick in the NFL draft 1 month from now. Louis Riddick joins us from Miami to tell us how